So here we are at the chapel of Nossa Senhora de Bom Viagem. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at this particular chapel and its facade, you will find that it is facing the Arabian Sea. It is facing the setting sun. The possible reason why this may have been named as Bom Viagem or Good Voyage is that this was the last man-made structure that was seen when the ships were going from Goa to Portugal or any other place just before it crossed the horizon. You will see the facade, it's big and white, but inside it is a storehouse of treasure. Follow me. So here you can see the altar of Nossa Senhora de Bom Viagem or Our Lady of Good Voyage. There are many icons that are over here belonging to different saints, and there are two altars of the Immaculate Conception and of Our Lady of Fatima. The idol was brought here in the year 1931 by the wife of the governor, Mr. Craveiro Lopes, Dom Craveiro Lopes. So it was his wife that had brought this statue from Portugal. And if you see the entire altar over here, you find that there is a small icon inside the tabernacle over there, but that lady is seen standing on a boat. So boat and a good voyage. So this is what the altar is about, and there are quite a lot of icons kept down over there. Now, when we come over here, we find that there is a beautiful flooring over here. There is a wonderful pulpit over here. Now this pulpit, this golden colored structure that is on the wall, was actually used by the priest by going inside, standing there and preaching the sermon. This happened when the governor, during the Portuguese time, possibly during later time also if they were attending the mass, they would come and sit on the choir balcony over here, because that is directly attached to his residence. Initially when the Portuguese came here and the churches were built here in Goa, there was a custom of bearing those fidalgo or the top echelon inside the church. Now, in this chapel, you will find that there is a marble flooring here and there is beautiful other flooring here, but these are all new. Now, what had happened some time back was there were cracks that were going and the hillock was sliding down. So now they have fortified it, they have held it, and they have changed this. At that time, those gravestones and tombstones that were down here on the ground have been put on the walls. Now, when we talk about gravestones, there are two that were inside this partition over here. And there are three outside and there is one niche. These people were all buried here. And in the niche, they always kept the bones as a remembrance. But what is very, very important over here are two things. Now, there was this lady who had died over here and her body was kept over here. It did not get decomposed. In fact, it started giving out beautiful smell, beautiful aroma. And the other thing that happened over here was the lady who gave the name Dona Paula to the present location nearby here, and one that is visited by many, many of the people, that lady also is buried over here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here you have got the stone of Dona Paula. Now, it's written over there, Dona Paula e Menezes é mulher e Dom Antonio Sotomayor. In other words, this is the gravestone of Dona Paula, who was Her maiden name is written over there, Dona Paula y Menezes, and Moller, that is the wife of Don Antonio Sotomayor. Now, Antonio Sotomayor was a landlord to whom belonged the lands from here right up to halfway to Miramar. He was of a Spanish origin and he was the middle of three brothers. Dona Paula was married to him, but Dona Paula was the daughter of the Portuguese Governor General who was deputed at Jaffna in Ceylon or Sri Lanka. And their house is on the way to Old Goa in a place called as Paneli. Today when you pass there, it's a green colored house which says Solar Sotomayor. This particular lady, she died, as it is written here, on 21st of December 1682. But even when she died, and they gave her name to the village over here, and incidentally to the jetty and to that island that is there, they meant Mrs. Paula. Why I am telling you this is because many of the tourists are taken to that place near the jetty to show two statues over there, white colored statues. It has nothing to do, those two statues have nothing to do with Dona Paula. That statue was given to us, rather gifted to Goa by Mr. and Mrs. Robert Knox, who had come here to Goa in the early 1900s. So his brother came down to Goa with one of Europe's most famous sculptors. Her name was Irsa von Leisner. It is written on the plaque over there. And she sculpted these two statues and named them the Far East Travelers. I have told you about Dona Paula. Dona means Mrs. Paula is her name. But how many of you know what is the original name of Dona Paula? See, got you. The original name of Dona Paula was Odda Veer or Ordio Veer. If you look at the coastline, they are all half coves. Possibly they called it Ordio Veer, Odda Veer. Veer means a beach. So Goa is fascinating, and mind you, let me tell you, this particular chapel has got a history. This particular fabulous chapel which is over here was not there. This was the point which was used by the Adilshahi forces by keeping 2-3 people to see which were the ships that were coming or that were passing. It was a lookout point. Later on, when the Portuguese took this over, they found that this was strategically very important. But to put a whole garrison over here, and it was not even connected properly, it was a marshy land between here to Panjim. So what they did was, in the year 1540, the Governor General mooted an idea. He said, why not put up a small chapel here? So in 1541, a chapel was built over here. But do you know one thing? That this chapel had a small little place. I would not call it a convent, because the convent came later, much later. Who stayed over here were the Reformed Franciscan priests. And do you know something? Something very interesting. These Franciscan priests were purely vegetarian. If any of the priests had to fall sick, now he would be sent down to the jetty, put on a boat, sent to Old Goa, where he would recuperate, have his diet, and then come back over here. Meat, fish not allowed into this place at that time. So in 50 years later, in 1591, they constructed the chapel and a little convent by the side of it. Today what we see, the big thing, was not completed at one time. The first floor on that was put up in 1612. The steeple of this particular church is 62 meters above the mean sea level. It's quite tall. The facade is facing the Arabian Sea. Now, like I told you, in the earlier place, we saw a quarry. Here also, they dug up the stone from just behind this chapel, creating a huge quarry over there, or a cistern. If you notice in this place at Raj Bhavan, there is no well. No well, so they had to provide for the water. And that cistern collected around 250,000 liters of rainwater. As regards this priest over here, they survived on very meager things. And when I say priest, there were not 100 and all. They were just maximum at one time were 15 in this place, in the entire time. Later on, the French had come from the Suez Canal and they wanted to attack Goa. Taking that as a reason, in the year 1799, Colonel William Clark of the British, he came here to Goa with 1,000 troops and he landed at Fort Aguada, raised Magusi to Goa. There was another fort called as Gaspar Diaz and he stayed here. They stayed here from 1799 till 1813. The Portuguese just wanted these people to go, but they went one step ahead. They constructed a cemetery because they were Protestants. They were not Roman Catholic, but they needed that cemetery over here. So they constructed the cemetery over here. There are 57 graves over there and 47 tombstones can be seen today. Today it is being maintained by the Directorate of Archives and Archaeology. Now, we cannot find any trace of the fort that was here. And another thing, please remember, ladies and gentlemen, do not mistake the Raj Bhavan, what is there today, as the fort. It was not. This was the convent. This was the chapel, that was the convent. The fort was more towards the gate and it was towards the northern hillock of this promontory, facing Aguada, facing Miramar and facing Reis Magos. Please do not mix up this particular thing. Register yourself on the website of Raj Bhavan and you will see it down here. Register on that. Come here because we have got a lot of trained guides here. All you have to do is register and come and then we transport you all around the place, showing you everything that you need to see. And I am sure that you will be fascinated by what you see over here. I am not going to waste your time. Go to your computers, log on to the net, register yourself. This happens only on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2:30 to 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock to 5:30. So please, looking forward to seeing you over there. So let's continue our journey. So ladies and gentlemen, one of the most beautiful things that we can see here in Raj Bhavan is this Cadillac. And this Cadillac has got the honor of transporting top VIPs from all over and the governors of Goa. But today, let us find out about one of these unique vehicles, which to my understanding is one of the rare vehicles in India. And ladies and gentlemen, we are in the year 2019. This car is older than me. This is going to be 60 years this year. And because of that, we have with us Mr. Sandeep Nagwekar. And he has got some amazing stories to tell us. So let us find out. Sandeep Bab, आमच्या प्रोग्रामाचेर तुझे स्वागत आसा. म्हाका एक सांग, ही जी गाडी आशिल्ली न्ही ती केन्ना हाडली हांगा?
So ही गाडी न्हू, तिचो मॉडेल हा 1959.
1959.
या.
आनी कित्याक हाडिल्ली ती?
ती आगा खान आयिल्लो पयलो तर ताका लागून हाडिल्ली. ताच्या उपरांत आतां ती आमी गव्हर्नराक यूज करतात.
ताका गव्हर्नराक यूज करतात. इन अदर वर्ड्स, पोर्चुगीज गव्हर्नर आशिल्लो तो यूज करता.
तो यूज करतालो.
तो यूज करतालो. आतां ह्या गाडयेचो तूं ड्रायव्हर.
या.
पूण म्हाका अशें खबर आसा की तुजें आनी ह्या गाडयेचें नातें खूब वर्सां पयलीं वता.
बरोबर सर.
जाल्यार ह्या गाडयेचे ड्रायव्हर्स पयलीं जे आशिल्ले,
बरोबर सर,
ताजे बद्दल आमकां मातशें सांग.
ह्याचे ड्रायव्हर सर पयलीं म्हजो एक डॅडी आशिल्लो सर. तांचें नांव सर रघुवीर नागवेकर.
रघुवीर नागवेकर.
आनी एक ड्रायव्हर आशिल्लो तर युसूफ शेख म्हणून.
युसूफ शेख.
ते दोगूय चलयताले सर.
ओके.
आनी ताजो चलो आसा तोय आतां सद्या ही चलयता सर. आनी हांवूय रघुवीराचो चलोय हांव ही चलयता सर.
We have got a family dynasty here of drivers. That's very good.
आनी सर ही गाडी म्हटल्यार बरी चलोवपाक. पावर स्टेरिंग आसा आणि आमी वेल मेंटेन दवरल्या ती.
ओके. आणि ही गाडी इज लेफ्ट हँड ड्रायव्ह.
लेफ्ट हँड ड्रायव्ह ही आसा.
ह्या गाडयेचो मॉडेल कितें?
1959 सर.
59 मॉडेल.
Yeah.
पूण नांव कितें?
दीस कॅडिलॅक सर.
हाका कॅडिलॅक
म्हणटात.
आणि हाका ही जी पळय गाडी आतां आसा न्ही इतली लक्झुरियस गाडी आनी काय गोंयांत दिसली ना.
ना सर.
म्हणटकच जो गव्हर्नर फाटल्यान बसतालो
हय सर.
ताका सामकें एक ओपन स्पेस कशी.
बरोबर सर.
सो आतां ही जी पळय ओपन स्पेस आसा ती आमकां मातशी दार उगडून दाखयशी.
हय शुअर सर. या सर.
चल. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, we will be able to have a peek inside the car of the governor, the Cadillac. Okay, so now let us peep inside and see the seat where His Highness Prince Karim Aga Khan was taken around in Goa, and also the very place where the Portuguese governors and the Indian lieutenant governors and governors after liberation were sitting and they were taking around. You will also get a peek at the dashboard. Look at the number of kilometers it has traveled. But right now, let's peep inside.
ही ताजी सीट आसा सर.
Okay.
ही फोल्ड जाता सर. अशी. आणि त्या टायमाचेर सुद्दां अशी फोल्ड करून आमी तांकां समज तांची कोण भुरगीं आसा कोण आसा न्ही जाल्यार फुडें बसता आनी दोनी सिटां फाटल्यान बसपाक मेळटा. VVIPs कोण आसा फाटल्यान बसता तांची भुरगीं आसा कोण आयल्ली धाकली भुरगीं बी जाल्यार तातूंत बसता.
ओके. हे पांय दवरपाक
हे ताजे पांय दवरपाचे आसा.
ओके. आनी हो जो पळय हांगा आमी म्हणटाले न्ही तो हारसो वयर वता तो जाता अजुनूय काय?
हय जाता
अजुनूय
जाता सर.
ओके. कॅन वी सी दॅट?
हे फुडले विंडोज आहा पावर विंडोज आहा ताजे ते चलता दोनी वयर.
ओके. ते चलता.
ताजो पावर ब्रेक्स आसा सर, पावर विंडोज आसा सर, पावर स्टेरिंग आसा सर आनी चलोवपाक सामकी फ्री सर गाडी. बरी चलता सर आनी कांयच प्रॉब्लेम ना गाडयेचो. आमी शॉर्ट डिस्टन्साक चलयता सर.
Short distance.
Yeah.
Okay. So let us say thanks to Mr. Nagwekar for a wonderful journey that he's taken us into the Cadillac. Thank you, Nagwekar Babu.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am come to a place in this entire complex of Raj Bhavan, and which you will see in your Raj Bhavan Darshan tour. This place is called as the Canon Point. This Canon Point is located at the mouth of River Mandovi, exactly opposite the fort called as Fort Aguada. Now, this Fort Aguada was completed in the year 1612. This particular place required cannons because in case any ships that came inside, the Aguad fort would fire at them. But if they came to this end, then there were 3 more other forts. One was the Reis Magus fort if the ship went inside. Opposite that was the Gaspar Diaz fort. And here, today there is no trace of this, was the fort of the Cabo. There was a fort over here, and you will not believe, ladies and gentlemen, they built the entire fort by taking out the laterite stones from the quarries that they dug here inside. All of them you have seen at the Aushadhi Vatika. Today, those big tanks, naturally made tanks, are being used for water harvesting. There are 5 of them. In fact, if you put a cover, you can make a hole out of them. But they use those stones to construct the fort. They use this place to put 4 brass cannons. And this is how they protected the mouth of the sea. Today, between Fort Aguada and this point, there are a lot of boats, tourist boats. They come to see the dolphins. You never know, if you come for the Raj Bhavan Darshan tour, you also may see dolphins over here. But this is just for your information. This cannon point possibly may not have been as beautiful as it is now. The credit for this goes to a Lieutenant Governor who was here, Lieutenant Governor K.T. Satarawala. He is the man who had done this place up. Today, we can see cannons. They have been cleaned up now, I told you, by a new method by the Directorate of Archives and Archaeology. We have got a small land buoy or a small lighthouse. Don't come close, stay away because there are rocks over here. The same way I am telling you, there are restricted places here. Do not go and venture over there. Ladies and gentlemen, the view from here is amazing. You see the Arabian Sea, you can see the Reis Magus Fort, you can see Miramar Beach, the Karanzale Cove and the mouth of the river. What else would you want? So now I am going to watch the scenery because the wind over here in this hot temperature outside is too good. I was going down to the jetty, but when I saw a bench, I didn't even waste time to sit down over here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very, very tiring journey when you go to see the entire thing. It takes a lot of time. So now we are heading to the jetty. Now this jetty played a very important role. Right now it is not being used. When it came to taking the priests from here to Old Goa and back. Now as you are going down, we will just show you the steps and then you decide. This jetty was even used by the governor, the Portuguese governor who was here, if he had to go to Panjim or any other place, because waterways was a very, very important way of transportation earlier. The view from there is amazing. Today it is, due to silting, it is not possible to get the boats over here, but the view from there, amazing. Let's meet down at the jetty. So ladies and gentlemen, this entire tour, the Raj Bhavan Goa Darshan tour, has been the conceptualization of Her Excellency, the Honourable Governor of Goa, Smt.Mridula Sinha. And we cannot end this program without taking a small message from her. Let us wait for her as she walks down the steps and then she talks to us. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, come to the end of the program where we are waiting to meet Her Excellency Smt.Mridula Sinha.
सारे देश में अपने प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य के कारण विख्यात 400 वर्षों से राज निवास को काबू कहा जाने वाला अब राज भवन गोवा है। और आज भी जो टूरिस्ट आते हैं, जो देखते हैं, जो सुनते हैं, उन सब का मानना है कि यह सौंदर्य की दृष्टि से सबसे नंबर 1 है। ऐसे राजभवन को यहाँ की जनता न देखे और साथ ही साथ जो यहाँ भ्रमण के लिए आते हैं वो पर्यटक ना देखें, यह बात मुझे बहुत खलने लगी थी। और इसलिए मैंने यह निर्णय लिया कि सप्ताह में 3 दिन इसे आम जनता के लिए खोलेंगे, उनकी सुविधाएं देंगे। और उसके लिए बहुत कुछ यहाँ करना पड़ा, कुछ भवन निर्माण भी करना पड़ा। और आज मुझे बहुत खुशी होती है कि स्कूल के बच्चे आते हैं और भी बच्चे आते हैं, और साथ साथ जो पर्यटक हैं वो राजभवन देखने आते हैं। राजभवन में तब से लेकर आज तक बहुत कुछ निर्माण किया गया है, लेकिन इसमें बहुत पुरानी चीज़ें भी हैं, दर्शनीय चीज़ें हैं जो 400 साल पहले शायद बनाए गए, और आज भी कुछ इसमें जोड़ा गया है। मैं चाहती हूँ और जानती हूँ कि जो पर्यटक यहाँ आते हैं वो बहुत खुश होकर जाते हैं, लाभान्वित होकर जाते हैं, उनको अपनी हिस्ट्री का ज्ञान होता है, और उनको उनके अंदर यह गौरव भाव भी आता है कि हमारा राजभवन, हमारे गोवा का राजभवन बहुत सुंदर है।
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, amazing tour called as the Raj Bhavan Darshan tour. Ladies and gentlemen, you will be shocked to see the things, the beautiful things that are here in this place, which is the promontory of Raj Bhavan. What we have shown you is just part of it. What is needed is you to come over here. Please log in onto the website, register yourself. We need your photo and your residence address, so any photo ID card that is required regarding this. This particular tour is being organized by the Goa Tourism as well as the Goa Tourism Development Corporation, and with amazing support from the Raj Bhavan staff. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard the message from Her Excellency the Honourable Governor of Goa, Smt.Mridula Sinha. She has extended a beautiful invitation to you, so please do take that and come over here. Till the next episode, saying bye-bye. See you, signing off.